What's up, guys? On this episode of SCR Garage, we work on the Z400. Alright, if you're new to the channel, this is my Z400 that I built to run hair scrambles 2 years ago. I ran a full season for CRA, and the last race was in December of 2019, and that is the last time I had this thing running. It's been stored up in the shed. We had our son last year, so I didn't race, and with the whole COVID-19 crap that was going on, I just said forget about it and pushed it off until this year. Well, race season starts next weekend, and I need to go over this one, see if this one will be ready. If not, we'll take the stock Z400. In case you guys don't know, what all I did to this quad is I got some Gold Speed beadlock rims on here. The motor is stock bore. It has a 13.5 JE piston on it, or in it, and it has stage 2 hot cams. I put a FCR 39mm carb on it. I put a Dynatech CDI. It has a full Yoshimura exhaust. I got TRX 450 front shocks on here. That should be about it. So what we got to do is, that tire towards the end of the race season, I had to pump it up before every race because it would leak off. And I do believe it's coming out from around the bead, so we got to check that out. This seal right here is leaking, so I need to pull this apart, make sure there's no cracks or anything, because I did throw the chain last year and it came down, and if you can see, the shift shaft is bent a little. So I'm going to check, make sure that's not cracked, and maybe try to straighten that, or I might just say leave it alone because it still shifts just fine. May need to do a carb cleaning. I do see that's separated a little bit. We need to reseat that. Obviously seat cover. The seat cover that was on, or the seat that was on this one, I put on the stock Z. I do want to change the chain and sprockets out, and then the front wheel bearings are bad, and obviously change brakes too because they're pretty whooped. Alrighty, so a little update. Shift shaft is not that bent. It looks pretty good actually, but that seal needs to come out so we can replace that, and then we can do an oil change oil and filter, and then that would be ready. Still gotta loosen that up and reseat that boot right there. And then I already got the front wheel bearings changed out. That grinding because that caliper's sitting there. So both sides are done. The reason why the caliper is not reconnected yet is because I got to change brake pads, and I need to clean these up because they're really dirty. But yeah, getting things finished up on here. Got to get a carder pin for here. I want to adjust these shocks down a little more because as it sits now, the nose kind of sits down a little bit. I want it to be more level when I'm sitting on the quad. But yeah, getting there. Also got to get rear brake pads too. Those are pretty darn whooped. So when I order all those, they should be in by the end of the week. But if not, then we'll have to run the stock Z400, which we will be working on also. It needs an oil change and a few little things done to it, but getting there. Alright guys, so I got the stock Z400 in the garage. The only upgrades this thing has performance wise is a full Yoshi, and it's been jetted for it. Other than that, it's stock. When I got this bike, it had a cracked case, and every so often I have to retouch it up. So that's what I'm doing right now. This is just JB Weld. This is a paste. I haven't seen it yet, so I wanted to try it. I usually use steel stick and had really good luck with it. And then I put a coating of black gasket maker on top of it. That way it has like a rubberized coating to it, so if something does hit it, it don't just shatter it. And other than that, this bike's been great for me, and just got to do that. I could probably take the motor out and get it welded up, but this is way easier and quicker to do. And like I said, I've had really good luck doing that. It's just a small crack right here. I give it a nice coating just to make sure it's all sealed up. But yep, I've had this bike, I don't know, 6 years now, I do believe, and that's all I do is just fix that every so often. When I do see a little drip, that lets me know that this has worked away. But this is a pace, so I'm gonna try this out and see how this one does. But yep, working on that. I think the starter, the one-way clutch for the starter is going out, which I have a new one at home, so I may go ahead and swap it out while I'm doing some maintenance to it. Got to do front wheel bearings on it also. Just need to tighten the chain, lube it up. The oil should be good. I'll have to check, see when it was done. I do believe changed the oil back in December, but I have to check and check coolant level, which the reserve bottle is low, so I'm gonna have to do that. And I do believe the radiator needs blown out. I do think it's packed full. So I mean, the temperature light don't come on, but the fan's always running, so got to check that. And then got blue lights underneath. I didn't do that, I just fixed them. That's how I got them. It's kind of cool, especially in the snow. Really lights up. But yep, so that's the update on this right now. We're gonna let this dry. It takes 24 hours to cure, and then we'll start the motor up, see if it leaks, and if it doesn't, then we'll cover this up with the black gasket maker, and then we'll be good. Alright guys, so this is a 1976 Honda XL75. We are converting this from points to a stator with a CDI box. The reason is, points I'm not too familiar about, and I know this is way simpler to deal with, and if I need to replace this, it's only $35 for a new stator. So when you do this conversion, as far as I know, is you just take the old points out, and this goes right in, fits right in there. You cannot use the flywheel that was on this motor, because this is what it looks like. You got this in here that moves, does something there, I'm not exactly sure. But you cannot use this because you got to use this flywheel here. So this is the flywheel that you need for the stator. So we're gonna put this on, bolt it down, and then we're gonna finish the wiring, and we're gonna see if we got spark. And if so, then we may even try to get this thing to fire up. But I didn't have enough content with the Z400s to justify to make a video just for that. So we're going to add this, and then I'll also show you some of the performance parts I bought for the blaster. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and bolt this down, get it ready, finish the wiring, get the coil and CDI all hooked up. That way we can see if we got any spark. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and see if we got any spark. I got our ground hooked up right here. Get you guys there. The ground's hooked up, comes up, connects right here, and then got the ground for our wiring harness, which this is really simple. Everything else looks like it's hooked up, and we'll get the spark plug over here. That way you guys can see if there's any spark. I do believe we got some spark. Turn the lights down. Perfect, we got lots of spark. So we'll go ahead and put the spark plug in, get the carburetor hooked up, and see if we can get this thing to fire up. Alright, since I don't have a gasket for here, I got some gasket material right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put Sharpie all over this, press this against there, and it should leave me a nice print on here. That way I can cut it out and put it on. There we go. Now we can cut that out and put it on the motor. Alrighty guys, so I got my gas bottle hooked up to the carburetor, which we got a small leak, but it should be fine. I got the choke on, and we're going to try to start this without shooting ether to the carburetor. So let's see what happens. Running. We did it. Perfect. See if it fires it back up. she runs perfect. I've only had this bike for like 6 years, and I messed with it for a little bit, and the points kind of got me a little irritated just on how everything is. I'm sure if I would sit there and actually read up on it, I could probably figure it out, but this is way simpler. It would be nice to have the headlight because this is a XL75, so it would have a headlight, a tail light, turn signals, a speedo, maybe a tack. I don't think a tack, but it would have all that. Little horn, it would have that also, but it was missing a lot of stuff, and better turn that off. But it was missing a lot of stuff, and this right here, way simpler, a lot less wires than that. I'll just show you the wiring harness that came off this bike. So, this is the wiring harness that came off of this. We have 5 wires now, maybe a few more, versus all of this. You know, your turn signals, your headlights, your brake lights, all that. So that's why I kind of like, let's get rid of this and let's go with this. This thing is purring, sounds good, it's pretty responsive, actually quiet, which I kind of like because I have too many bikes that are too loud. This thing I can cruise in silence and be perfectly fine. But super excited, got that figured out. We'll tidy the wiring up a little better. Obviously that might not be where I mount the ground, might mount it somewhere else, but definitely awesome. Might be able to reuse the stock kill switch up here. Actually should be able to. Have to redo this connection here, run it here. It'll be awesome. Yeah, nice little spot there. I have the seat and the gas tank. I'll grab them real quick to show you. They're in really good shape. The rear fender's not too bad. It has a little bit of dings on it. This rear, that's pretty toast. May see about respoking it, or I'll try to get a used rim. But yeah, the front holds air, has good tread. The forks could be rebuilt. I have the side cover, it's right here. I might polish it up because it's pretty corroded. Got the shifter. Oh yeah, man. Heck yeah. These bikes are always fun. So here's the original seat. In excellent condition. Has a little bit of paint on there. That's how I got it. Got a little bit of rub from sitting on the tank. Here's the Honda tank. That was the original on this. In really good shape. Just a little bit of surface rust. Inside's really nice. Kind of see in there. There's a little bit, but a good splash of gas in there. Shake it around. She'll be great. Sit like that. Roughly like that. That mounts right there where the shocks are. We'll probably take the fender off. Try to straighten that up a little bit. But yeah, most of it's there. I don't know if I had the foot pegs. I'll have to check. Which they mount down here, go across. But heck yeah. Alright guys, so we got the XL75 running, which is awesome. Now we can order a few parts that it needs. I'll probably try to find a used rim. If I can't find any, then I will buy some spokes and try to respoke it myself. But other than that, we have most of the parts, and this bike's going to be an awesome bike just to have to hop on, go check the fence and all that. So I'm excited that we got that running. We also got some work done on the Z400s, getting ready for this coming week. As my usual fashion, wait till the last week to get stuff finished, but hey, I don't have all the time in the world. You know, I work 60 plus hours a week, plus take care of a farm and a family, so it is what it is. But yeah, so going to be working on trying to get those ready for this weekend. Kind of looking like I'm going to take the stock Z400, which is alright because that bike runs amazing for being stock and that. Also, got some parts for the blaster. Got a cap, which it's not going to do anything other than hopefully keep water out of our gas. Got some new axle bearings because I noticed there was some play in the rear axle, so I got them. And then one of the upgrades we got is a lightened flywheel. So they took all the clear coat off, plus milled all this off the flywheel. And I got a stock one right here so you can kind of see what it looks like. So that's what a stock one looks like. So this is supposed to allow the blaster to rev a lot quicker, therefore make your power quicker also. So I'm excited to see what that does. And then I also got a new head for the blaster. Yes, looks like a stock blaster head, but has been rechambered. And there's two different chamberings you can get. You can get a Hemi head, which favors the top end. It allows you to rev out higher RPM, supposed to give you a peak, supposed to give you a higher peak horsepower. This head, which I don't think I'm saying it right, it's Toreldo. I don't know. I can't read. But this head is supposed to favor the mid power range. So, and it's supposed to self-limit your RPMs, so it won't let you rev out as far as the Hemi head. But with this head, it's supposed to double your horsepower. So a 17 horse blaster is supposed to be mid-30s just with this head. So I'm excited to see what this does to the blaster. And we will do a 300-foot drag stock. We're going to probably cut the exhaust up because I do believe there's a baffle in there. So we'll eliminate that baffle. And then we'll do a test like that, then a test with the lightened flywheel, and then with the head, and then whatever else upgrades we have by the time we do that video. But we'll do time, so when you start to finish, and top overall speed. We'll probably use like an old TomTom that tells you what your speed was. My cousins and I used to do that all the time with our bikes, so you could go the fastest, and got pretty quick on some of the bikes. I had a 81 YZ465 two-stroke, and I couldn't even top it out on the straight stretch, and I was doing 89 by what the GPS said. So we will do that. If you guys are excited to see the blaster upgrades or the xl75 or even my racing, please hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on those notifications so you can see when I upload. I upload every Sunday, and I try to do Wednesdays too. It depends on my work schedule and that. But yep, I appreciate you guys watching my video. If you liked it, hit that like button. If you want to see my last video, click over here. If you guys want to become a subscriber, click over here. I'll catch you guys next time.